Every little girl's dream when you're growing up is to become a ballerina, and every Christmas you see the Nutcracker and there's a beautiful prima ballerina on point. So as a little kid, of course, I wanted to be that ballerina. My parents put me in dance classes, but then my little brother started having seizures, so I had to quit. My parents said I could go when I could pay for it. So freshman year of high school, I went back to my studio and was way behind, but I worked really hard at it because it was what I love and was able to catch up with the other girls. But finally one summer my teacher told me I could. So I was really excited. This was like a lifetime of work that I put into it and kind of my dream. And I got my pointe shoes, got fitted. It was this huge big deal with a class of 14-year-olds. And then we had our first class together and my ankle snapped. So after about 7 months of working with a physical trainer, I was finally able to do pointe, and it was just kind of a dream come true for me.
I was in Channelview, Texas, and we're living in this old man's house in the upstairs rooms of it, and there was this little closet, shirts and pants and shoes, a Buddha statue, a bunch of like prayer books, hangers, other nonsense, and these. That was like 2 years ago, and I've been wearing them like always. And it just occurred to me like a year ago that maybe they didn't belong to missionaries, maybe they belonged to the old man whose house we lived in. So now I feel kind of bad. I go hike in them, go to class in them. I thought they were shoes is my thing. They're really just like slippers that people just wear from the bathroom to like their bedroom. But then I saw like the size on the bottom, and I was like, these aren't supposed to be worn around, but I do.
These shoes are pretty cool. My brother got them on his mission in Moscow, Russia, from a member who just collects cool stuff and then gives it to missionaries for some reason. Apparently they're like really nice shoes, but since they were like too small for the guy, he gave them to his brother, and then he gave them to me after I was like, well, I don't really have any dance shoes, and I don't want to spend 60 bucks on real dance shoes. Everyone believes that they're dance shoes even though they're not, because they look like it and they have the scuff marks in the right places. They got me through like ballroom for like 2.5 years, so it's pretty good. I'm on the ballroom team, so I get to use them a lot. I dance about 10 hours a week. They started getting a hole in them, and I was like kind of concerned at first because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna probably have to get a new one. But then I like just kept on doing it, and it still worked for dance shoes. And then like the hole just got bigger and bigger until it split the shoe, and then I was like, this is still working now. Like all it needs to do is last to the end of the semester.
Last summer, I was a bridesmaid basically like every other weekend. I think it was 7 times, which is fine, but every single time they would get a dress for you, but then they'd always tell you to wear nude shoes. So for the first wedding, I went out and bought myself these nice heels that were nude, and lucky for me, I got to wear them at every single wedding. Usually at weddings, like you'd go to the temple, wear the shoes, and take pictures, and then by the reception, your feet are so tired. So I always would switch my shoes to these ballet flat shoes that were also nude. And these shoes were a lot more comfortable, they were flat, and I could dance in them. Everyone should know that you're not a failure if you don't get married, but I felt kind of sad. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I'm graduating, and maybe I won't be married. God's plan always works.
I'm Elise.
I'm Zach.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Ellie.
And these are my pointe shoes.
And these are my moccasins.
And these are my ballroom shoes.
And this summer, I'm getting married and I'll have a new pair of shoes.